almost lost my life in India. When you travel, you rarely put in your head that this may be the last time you see your family. And yes, we're taking the plane and you never know. But this experience actually shaped the way I see life today, okay? And among other things, it's certainly one of the experiences that encouraged me to take the plunge and do that gap year that I wanted to do for so long. I wanted to do a 1-year sabbatical, to travel non-stop, but there were always something. Not enough money, not enough this, not enough that, and if this, etc. When you almost die, or when you flirt with death, right? And you see how precious life is, and how at no time, you can lose your life. And for me, I was miles away from my family. So let me tell you that story. Let me tell you what happened. I'm Jazz. I'm a Gen Xer solo traveler. So I was in India. I went in India for a yoga retreat, a weight loss yoga retreat. I was supposed to spend 1 month in India, and I had a personal instructor, a yoga teacher, and for that month, I had 3 meals, light meals, all vegetarian meals, and we walked twice a day, morning and evening, and we had 2 yoga practice. It was intensive, guys. It was intensive, but I enjoyed it. It was in Kerala, in Fort Kochi, an amazing place, a beautiful place. I was saying when I did my live that I've been to New Delhi. New Delhi is hectic. As a tourist, you are more hassled, like you are in many countries when you tourist. In Kerala, it's different. People are more laid back, etc. Anyway, I was there for the yoga retreat. So I had an amazing time visiting, walking all the time with him. I felt really good in Kerala. People are friendly, nice, so different from the New Delhi. New Delhi is stressful. There's a lot of car, a lot of people everywhere, etc. Kerala was different. I really love it, and I would love to go back because I had to cut short my time. I had not even a thought that anything like that could happen. It's a laid-back pace of life in Fort Kochi. It's coastal, there's beaches, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. I was daily with my yoga instructor and his family, and I was the only student. He was supposed to have many people, but they did not turn up. And I had all that time with him to really help me with my goal of weight loss. So I did not even expect something like that to happen because I was feeling well, I was within a week, I had already lost weight because we were working a lot. I was eating only, it was not even vegetarian, it was vegan food, and quantity, very smaller quantity that I'm used to. And with the walks every day, I was feeling good. I was feeling amazing, actually. Then I started, one morning I woke up and I started feeling really cold, I was really cold with a headache. But it was not a headache that would go with paracetamol. It was more like a migraine, and my eyes also was hurting, but nothing bad. And the way Indian do things is a lot like African. Unless you drop dead, you're not going to tell me that you have a headache and you cannot come to do the yoga practice. So I told my instructor that I was not well, my yoga instructor, that I was not well. And he's like, okay, are you still standing? Because he thought I was just saying it because I was too tired because it was quite challenging for me because I was not fit. And so he thought I just wanted to miss the practice because I was, lazy or something. And I went to the practice, but I was not feeling well. Was really not feeling well. And on my way back from after the yoga practice, I was going down the stairs because he had stairs in his place. The yoga studio was in the roof. So we had to come down the roof terrace, and I slept and I fell completely on my back. I hurt it myself, but we didn't think too much of that. He checked that I was okay. Then I went back to my room. I had a shower, and then I took a nap. When I took a nap, I was cold inside my bones. I was so cold. I covered myself. I wore so many stuff, but I was feeling so cold. And then a few moments after, I was dripping with sweat. I was now too hot. And no, I was not hot. I was actually cold, but I was sweating. And I'm like, okay, and I was not feeling well. But the thing that really stressed me out is that I had a headache like I never had in my life. Because I'm prone to migraines. I know what a migraine is. But that headache was so heavy. It was so painful. It was like there was gravity, pulling my face down and my eyes. It was very, very painful. It was awful. I couldn't move my head anymore. I couldn't move my head. And so I called my yoga because I had to go to the afternoon practice. Then we do walk after the practice, in the evening. Because it was around 3, we do 1 hour or 1 hour 45. And then usually it's 1 hour, almost 2 hours yoga, morning and evening. And I called him say, I'm not well. I'm not well at all. I cannot come. And I even have trouble standing. So he came, he brought me some fruit, some drinks and all. He bought me some medicine and then, like paracetamol. And then I slept, but I could not sleep that night. My bones, I was so cold. And my head was like it was going to explode. It was crazy. My eyes, I couldn't see anymore properly. And so I called my husband to say I'm not feeling well at all. And I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was. I actually thought, let me come back a little bit. Within that package, I had a massage with a traditional doctor. Lord Jesus Christ. That massage lasted maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes. I don't know how long it lasted. It was extremely painful. I couldn't wait for it to finish. It was like the guy wanted to remove the fat from my body, the way he was pressing the doctor. It was a lady doctor and a guy, both of them. And one were doing my feet, one doing my back. It was the most painful massage I ever had in my life. It was so painful. And it was so painful. After that, I couldn't walk properly. My body was in pain. Oh my goodness. I was crying. What the doctor explained to me and my yoga teacher, that massage cleanse your body from toxin and everything, and that it may take you 1 or 2 days, and I was supposed to have two of them. I had one and I didn't want to go back again. He was telling me that after that massage, I would certainly feel like my body will ache, it takes time but it will heal the body, and that once the pain is gone, I will feel really good. So what we thought with my instructor was that the feeling that I had, the sickness that I had, was a result of that massage. And maybe the massage actually, it could be that he actually removed some toxin, and then I have no idea. Anyway, it was after that massage that the next day or 2 days after, I felt I was sick. And we thought just my yoga instructor just so that I was too fragile, and that is certainly the massage that I'm feeling the sickness now. So that was the second day, and they brought me soup. I was staying in a home next to my yoga instructor, and so the family who owned the building where I was staying also brought me drinks, and they were really taking well care of me. God bless them. But it was bad. So that second day, I had trouble walking. I had trouble opening my eyes, and my speech became blurred. I was talking gibberish, when I was talking to my family, they got scared. They got scared, and even at that point, I didn't understand how dangerous and how bad what I had was. So now I try to sleep the second day. My yoga instructor and the people are aware, and they're making sure that I'm okay. I have my phone nearby and to ring if something happened. But that night, I really, really can't sleep. My head will explode. I can't see almost anything. My eyes hurt. My head, there's a pressure. I never had. It's not a headache anymore. It's like my head was so stuffy. It was heavy. I had such a big pain over my head. It was crazy. And I was still extremely cold inside my bones. No matter how much I was wearing, and I was just dripping with sweat. And after that, walking became difficult. I could not walk properly anymore. And whenever I was standing, the gravity and my head was just like it wanted to explode. So that morning when I woke up, my yoga instructor, he took me to the hospital. He brought me to the hospital. They did some tests. They gave me some medicine. They tested everything. My husband actually was coordinating all of that with the yoga instructor. Asked him to take me to the hospital, and they coordinated everything. So my husband asked them to do everything, dengue fever, everything. And so most of the tests came back negative. But my husband insisted that we needed to do more tests. But because the hospital was 30 minutes from where I was staying, that night I moved to a hotel, and we had the Ibis Hotel, which is a French hotel, just opposite the hospital. So I took 2 nights there, and so the doctor saw me, they checked me, and I was there waiting until for them to bring the result. They also put an IV on me, And so when the result came, I had malaria. And so they give me a treatment for malaria. And so after a few days, I felt a little bit, I regained a little bit strength. But at this point, I could not go back to the yoga center. I couldn't do anything. I was extremely weak. So what we did with the doctor is to give me enough medicine to so I could be able to travel on my own, and you know, so without somebody carrying me. So on that, the next day, with my husband, we booked. We changed my flight to travel the next day, and so I moved to a hotel that was near the airport, the Crown Plaza, but they were aware that I was sick. And we changed my seat for business so I would be more comfortable. I managed to fly, but I was extremely, extremely sick. But the medicine that they gave me helped quite a lot. So when I came home, I was still sick. But let me just rewind. I didn't think I would make it. I did not think I would make it. At some point, I couldn't speak anymore. The sound or whatever were coming out of my mouth was not making sense. I was not conscious during a good part of between the second and the third day. I was not conscious anymore of myself. I was doing everything on me because I could not stand to go to the toilet or anything. I was very, very uncomfortable. So I managed to travel and to arrive in the UK. And as soon as I arrived in the UK, I was still very sick. My family was very scared because I was so far in India and they're in the UK. And when I arrived here, I went straight to bed, was happy to be home because I could have died there. But I did not know that because although I felt that I was so close to like losing my life because the way I was feeling, I could not walk, I was so sick. When I arrived here, I stayed at home one day and I was still not well. So I went to the A&E, emergency, accident and emergency here in the UK. And they took some blood tests. And when they came back, there were many of them who came to see me. They were looking at me like crazy and they kept me at the hospital. And I could see the worry on their face. And the doctor were asking me how I'm still standing because I should be dead. Because I had malaria and this is a deadly strand of malaria. I can't remember the name. It's the brain malaria. It's the one that attacks your brain. That's why my head was so heavy and my eyes and everything. And they said the count of, guys, I don't know the terms, the medical terms, but the count of malaria that I had in my blood, I should not be standing right now. So he went to call someone else and they came and they kept me for maybe 2 days, I can't remember. And they were looking for, checking to see if they gave me like a strong treatment. And then they referred me to the exotic. It's not exotic, the word. It's, they referred me to a special clinic for this type of disease that you don't find in Europe. because when you have a brain malaria, it's something that can, I don't want to say something silly, but if it's not treated properly, it's something that can strike back. And you can lose your life if you're not following the treatment properly. So I needed to have a follow-up with that something clinic. I'll put it on the screen. The doctor were so shocked. It's rare, that type of malaria. I need to find my paper to remember, my documents to remember what type of malaria it was. They told me this is deadly. A few people survive this type of malaria. And that's how I really understood the gravity of what I had. Although I felt in India that, oh my goodness, am I going to die here? Right? But until I arrived in the UK, and the doctor actually find exactly what type of malaria I had and put me in a very strong treatment to cure me. That made me realize how lucky I was to be here. I could have died in India, far from my family, while traveling and going to what? A yoga retreat for wellness. So what's the irony, right? And this just made me realize that, guys, when it's your day, it's your day. It doesn't matter where you are. This experience did not make me afraid to travel and to go far. In contrary, it showed me how this world is beautiful and how there's a lot of good people in this world. Because without my yoga teacher, if those people wanted to take advantage of me, one way or another, they could have. These people were so supportive. The couple that owned the place where I was staying, they brought me food, they brought me soup, they looked after me. My yoga instructor did so many back and forth to make sure that I was okay. He looked after me. And so I'm so very grateful for them, because without them, I don't know if I would have survived this malaria. I could have just died in my room there, because I had no possibility to walk by myself and go to the hospital. I needed somebody to help me. So I am so very grateful for them. And that just really taught me that life, you don't know. We're here today, we may not be here tomorrow, right? And this is why it's extremely important to live today, to do the things that you want to do today. Tomorrow, you don't know what is, tomorrow is not a promise to you. And that gave me even more the strength and the motivation to travel further. That even gave me the motivation to go on that sabbatical year and do something that I always wanted to do, So guys, live today, you never know. So after this experience, I just knew that I shouldn't be putting my dreams and the things that I want to do off for tomorrow. I could have died there, right? And whatever I wanted to do with my kid, with my family, with myself, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So when I came back, I really wanted to leave. And after, being diagnosed again in the UK for that deadly malaria and the strong treatment that they gave me, and it took me over a month, guys, to get back my strength. although the headache and that heaviness in my head and my eyes, and slowly left, and but the strength, like I was extremely weak. It took me a while to regain really my strength, waiting for one day I will do this. One day, it's a risk that I'm not willing to take. Okay, one day is today for me. To make things happen, everything else will work out. Like, I'm planning my sabbatical year. If I tell you how much I have in my account, okay, but I know that things will take care of themselves. Okay, I've secured already house sitting. I will continue working toward making sure that I put in place things to make sure that things go as smoothly as possible. But if you wait for everything to align, you will never do anything. And one day might become a regret of, if I knew, if I have known, okay, and having the regret when your time is up. Because, a lot of regret of the dead is often regret of not having dared to live life fully. And the other thing that it taught me as well is to prioritize my health, travel smarter, because the malaria, I think I caught it when I was in Africa, because I've been traveling through Gabon, Cameroon, Africa, then India. And I think I caught it somewhere in Cameroon. What happened sometimes is because I traveled so much in Africa that at some point I stopped taking malaria tablet, which I should not do. So I know the malaria tablet can be something that, is chemical, but until we have a vaccine for malaria, unfortunately, when we go to Africa, we need to take malaria tablet to make sure that. And it's not even that. I actually took a tablet at the beginning of my stay, but you have to renew it, the preventive one that they give you in Africa. You have to retake one something like 3 months after, and I didn't. Did you ever live an experience that completely changed the way you see life? Please share in the comments and tell me what you think about this story that happened to me. So life is short, let's live today.